Creed 3
You out there boxing. I need you to start fighting.
The heavyweight champion of the world, Adonis Creed,
is the newest movie by director Michael B. Jordan.
My name is Michael B. Jordan, but tonight, Michael B. hosting.
The first time director also stars as the main character Adonis Creed.
Adonis Creed.
Creed 3 is a movie that suffers from the same thing that a lot of last movies in a trilogy suffer: lack of planning.
Who are you? I'm Ray. Ray who? Ray Skywalker.
Creed 3 is really a movie that nobody needs to watch. It doesn't really add anything to the Rocky story, and it barely adds anything to the Adonis Creed story. Not that it matters that much, to be fair. It's not like people really remember what happened in Creed 2 or 1.
I don't know him.
It's the third Creed movie, and we don't have Sly,
How you doing?
which basically kills the whole series anyway. Let's not pretend that we didn't just watch these movies for him. And it also introduces a bunch of characters and a bunch of story beats that make zero sense introducing at this point. One of the characters introduced in this movie is Felix Chavez,
But the brightest jewel in Creed Athletics' crown is undoubtedly Felix Chavez.
played by Jose Benavides, and is written as well as a wall. He's really just a tool to give some importance to the character introduced in the movie. Chavez barely speaks, has no personality, and really has no involvement in the plot. Our main villain in this movie is the newly introduced Damien,
You don't remember me, huh?
Who are you?
played by Jonathan Majors. Is Adonis' old friend, spent some time in jail and is now coming back to reconnect. The movie spends a healthy amount of time developing this new character. We get a lot of conversations with him and Adonis. These are mostly well written and seem quite real.
I'm surprised you still come here and eat with the common folk.
I mean, when I can.
He gets introduced to his family on
You never bought me no flowers.
little by little. We get a bit more of their backstory and the situation that led him to jail. But Damien's arc is so obvious and played out. He came back from jail wanting a title shot, which he gets because he secretly breaks the other title contender's hand.
The LAPD took this man.
In this movie, there's seemingly only 2 heavyweight boxers in the entire world, so if one gets injured, there's no fight. So Damien, a 40-year-old amateur fighter,
They want you to fight Dame.
Dame? He's not even a real fighter.
gets a title shot against the defending champion, the young talent Chavez, which, as I said, barely speaks and has no facial expressions.
It's about control.
Until I
Introducing Felix El Guerrero Chavez.
So, halfway through the movie, we get our first fight, which is very exciting and tense. No, the fight starts like 2 minutes after we even get confirmation that they're going to do it. And it's between someone that we don't know that well and someone that we don't know at all. Sounds exciting, huh?
It's time for the main event of the evening.
So, the guy that barely speaks loses. Surprise, surprise. And now Damien, for some reason, goes rogue, talking crap about Adonis at every opportunity,
And I don't need you for nothing or nothing.
just because he didn't get his letters from prison or something. But the way that Adonis responds to all this is so funny to me. He gets angry at his sick mother for protecting him or whatever, and then goes to live television to clear the waters. But it doesn't look like he really has anything to say. At the end, he just calls Damien out for the title.
Alright, I challenge you.
for the heavyweight championship of the world.
You and me. Run it. Run it!
Which I have to question why. What's that going to accomplish? Damien is already rich and famous and a champion. He won. He got what he wanted already.
I want to be champ.
How's beating him at boxing gonna change anything? In the end, Creed wins. Surprise, surprise.
And once again, the heavyweight champion of the world, Adonis Creed.
And then they're all friendly and apologetic. Like, what? How did this whole thing make them both forget that they broke each other's trust? Just because they punched each other a few times?
We were just kids, bro.
It's mind-boggling to me. The movie is also filled with emotional scenes which don't work at all. Why would I care about Adonis's mother or his kid? They are side characters that have never mattered that much. The emotional pull of this series was always Rocky and Apollo Creed.
Rocky Balboa is the challenger, and of course Apollo Creed, the world champion. Well, there's the bell. Comes over to hurry now. Throws a couple of lights left out there. He starts the...
Apollo Creed barely gets mentioned in this movie. It seems like at this point it doesn't really matter to Adonis. And Rocky, not only is Sly not in the movie, but Rocky is also not shown in any way, not even a picture or a video, nothing. Rocky gets mentioned once in this whole movie. Once!
You know how many people tuned in when Apollo gave Rocky a shot?
Did they really just forget that Rocky's relationship with Adonis was the thing carrying the first two movies?
If I could take everything that was good and put it into a bowl or something and say, hey, here, I'd like to buy one more day with my wife, I'd do it. I would die a happy man. Right then. Not gonna happen.
It's awful what they did to this story. For me, it just kills the character. Adonis is just a rich prick now. Why would I care about him? Lastly, I want to talk a bit about the fighting, which is fine. It's believable and I had fun watching it. I wish they had toned down on the slow-mo. I got tired of watching CGI sweat particles flying. The scene where Dame and Creed fight in the void was quite dumb. I don't really get the point and I like the crowd, so I don't know. I also kinda hated how their fight ended. Dame was clearly winning and all of a sudden Creed just KOs Dame with some very underwhelming punch and that's it. So an incredibly disappointing show to this series, 3 out of 10. And that's everything for this video. Hope to see you again soon, and until then, the theater is closed.